Hello again. Thank you for joining me to watch me make a painting inspired by the goldfinch. This carries on from the idea of using the pheasant for another piece I made. The beautiful colours on each of the birds lends themselves to create paintings with an essence of them. I started this painting at one of my workshops, but I found it difficult to switch between working with the group and creating a flow for myself. So here I show how I work the painting until its end. So here is the goldfinch, beautiful bird, and here is the palette of colours I used to make the painting. So we have cadmium yellow medium, cadmium red medium, cerulean blue, Prussian blue, black and white. And these are all the colours that I made and used in this painting. So here we are, it's an absolute mess. So we're going to start by blocking out bits and more or less really starting again. Hardly any of what's here now is left behind. I think there's a couple of bits of red, I think. So we're going to go over with the grey. We're using the colours that I've selected to make this grey, so everything's cohesive. So using a bit of water. As you know, I don't like hard edges, keeping everything flowing. There, more grey. Okay, so we've got a bit of the blue, Prussian blue, added to the grey. Obviously got to keep drying it to keep it from going muddy. There. That's cadmium yellow, cerulean blue. No, I think it's cadmium yellow and a little bit of black. A bit of scratching in, getting all this interest underneath the colours that are going to go on top. It's that same colour that I mixed down there with more white in it, so tinting it. At the moment I'm just plonking on the colour. As you can see on the wall there's the picture of the goldfinch that I'm using for reference. There. That at the moment is representing the tail feathers of the bird. So I'm just getting the colours and I'm putting them on the canvas, not necessarily where they would be on the bird, but in this case I felt the blue was right there at the moment. Now we have cerulean blue, a little bit of black and white to make that colour. It's not a very long video this, I think it's about 15-16 minutes. I love to leave this so you can see the water dripping down. Lovely. You can see it's the grey with more blue in it. If you noticed, I've only got Prussian blue and cerulean blue. I'm not using any cobalt or anything else. Now here I missed a bit. I forgot to turn the camera back on. So I added a bit of a lighter grey and then scratched in, lighter blue over the darker blue, and I did the same with the green. So we've got this lovely, lovely orange representing the bird's head. All the time I'm looking at the balance. You see the little bit of red on the left, and the little bit of red that's going is next to the orange. That's the only thing that I think I've left from the original painting underneath. So having all the colours sitting up above the canvas gives me the opportunity to just see the colour and imagine it on the canvas. It's a very good way of doing things. Here I'm adding a bit of light to the top of the canvas. I've got this new way of doing things that I really quite like. I've used on a couple of paintings now. Leaving up these little squares of the paint underneath, the colour coming through. So I'm just sort of working out how far I want to go, a bit at a time. Yeah, so I've decided to go all the way to the edge. Trying to balance up the light, but I decided I don't really like that. But that's left a really good effect. So putting an even lighter blue on top. Again, being influenced by the colour swatches I've got stuck to the wall. Here is the, I'm trying out the yellow, the bright yellow that's on the goldfinch bird in the position that it is on the bird. But I know that I decided it's a bit too bright, but we'll leave it there for a minute and see how the painting develops. So putting in a bit of charcoal. Putting some marks in to make it a bit more interesting over that grey. Putting this dark around the edge sort of frames it. It sort of makes you feel like you're looking into the painting. Scratching in, again, gives it something of interest when you're looking at it close up, and contrast. That's sort of feeling like it's the position, the flow of the bird. And here I'm toning down that yellow. Putting on the sort of little highlights now. So a lighter tone, more impasto, thicker paint, more texture. Bit more light. More marks. It's these marks. I love making these last marks. So we're looking at balance of shape, different size shapes, contrast, and there is the yellow that I put on that was too much, just a tiny little touch. And then a lighter orange on top of there. I think we're nearly done. Yeah, final touches. Best bit. Now this has turned out much better than when I started. I work so much better in my studio. There we are. One of those normal wobbly close-ups that I do. Got the lovely drips, the scratching, charcoal. There we are. Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. Finished painting. Thank you for watching.